It's Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We are joined today by Ken Simons. He is a new member of the Moorpark City Council. Congratulations, sir. This is the third time that you've run, and the third time's the charm. What went right?
Well, I think just a lot of hard work, staying focused on the mission, staying focused on the issues, continually volunteering in the community and being active in the community, and eventually people start to get to know you.
I want to ask, obviously this was a big year. We had a presidential race, we had a Senate race, 17 measures on the ballot statewide, Ventura County measures on the ballot. How did you get people to focus on your city council race when there was so much noise surrounding other races?
Great question. It was a constant challenge. First of all, there's the formats. If you talk to the people who've run in the race before, go a lot of door knocking, do this. So this is my, I guess I mentioned, third time running. So I pretty much walked every door in my first two elections. So now the question is, do people really like people creeping around the neighborhood, knocking on doors?
I hear you.
Back when I was a kid, it was fine, but today it's not so cool anymore.
I got it.
So we had to use a lot more social media. We worked on that.
Telephone banking?
I didn't do the telephone banking. Okay. I did emails. I worked with on Facebook. I did door hangers, not the mailers.
Those feel a little less intrusive.
Right, because when we get all these mailers in my house, they're gone before I get home.
Literally.
My wife sits there and goes, this is a bunch of stuff. Let's put it away. I'm going, what'd they say?
Exactly.
What'd they say? So I figured the door hang was less intrusive. I sat in front of, I went to AYSO events.
Sure, my daughters play soccer. They're now good clubs.
Say hello. Then you sit in front of Ralph's and Bonds and meet people. So I got the connections that way, but they were kind of expecting it at that point in time, which become. So we had that, and then the last part of the campaign, I felt maybe my name might be there, but people aren't understanding what I'm about. So I ended up doing 3 videos on Facebook that got specific on issues and hopefully amongst everything else, my name recognition and all my I understand I'm on the board of the chamber. I'm the head of the economic development task force. I'm on the head of the Shop Moorpark campaign. I'm on the Kiwanis Club. I'm on the Boys and Girls board of directors, and we're diligently taking care of 400 kids after school programs.
Let's talk about shopping Moorpark, because part of the challenge that a community like Moorpark faces is your daytime population vanishes. I mean, literally, Moorpark is gone. I mean, it is a ghost town. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm getting at. And so engaging in economic development must be a little tricky, because if you're a restaurant, for example, that only serves dinner, you're golden in Moorpark.
If you can survive on dinner alone.
Well stated. So I know economic development has been part of your mission for several years. How are you working through that challenge?
Well, let's put a hyphen in capital letters on the word challenge.
Right.
So the chamber has been working with a very little budget to address a Shop Moorpark branding campaign. So when you talk to your moms around, oh yeah, I always shop Moorpark, but you got to constantly remind them. So we have a Shop Moorpark Facebook page. So we started small, low cost. We're thinking about maybe doing a web page. So I'm glad you asked the question, because it's evolving as we're speaking right now. So we're thinking, okay, let's do that web page. Let's do that web page because Facebook, should we do Twitter and all that stuff? So we got to 1,000 likes. And
that's for real in a city of 35,000.
So, and now we're up to almost 1,400 likes within a couple months. So
phenomenal.
Part of my campaign, I always said, please shop Moorpark, because it's a passion of mine. Well, we were blessed because before we decided to go with the web page, a school called Channel Islands College, or Cal State
CSU Channel Islands,
their head of their marketing department, the professor, now has a graduate team working on our Shop Moorpark campaign. So next Wednesday, as a matter of fact, at City Council, they're going to give the initial presentation of what they recommend and what they found. So before we proceed to the next level, we're going to get their input.
I'm glad you brought up CSU Channel Islands, because it is so close to Moorpark. And Moorpark College is considered one of the strongest community colleges in the region, if not the state. So I'm wondering, how can you leverage Moorpark College, CSU Channel Islands, to the benefit of your municipality?
Well, and that's a good question, because there were issues, historically, I wasn't involved in them, but the Moorpark College was kind of like an island in Moorpark, and there was not a lot of communication.
Oh, that's interesting.
One of the things I wanted to make sure of is that I would keep open communications. Now, at the same time, fortunately, a new president there, Luis Sanchez, took over, and he has the same mentality. We need to get involved.
Is the college in city limits?
Yes. it
Okay,
is.
so then,
So taking that next level.
Right.
So I'm at a conference, the candidates event over at
Right.
Moorpark College, and there must have been 100 young adults there that go to Moorpark College. So the first question I asked was, so how many of you, could you raise your hand, how many of you actually, before you leave college, shop in Moorpark? Yeah. And about 8 or 10 people raised their hands. I said, well, this is an issue. Question, and I brought this up to Cal State Channel Islands, but you've got 12,000 students there. It's an economic benefit to Moorpark if we can transition some of those people to come back. So you like to look more globally. So all those things are being looked at as we speak, and hopefully next year our program will be twice as successful.
so let
going
me
forward.
ask you though, how do you lure business? Because there had been a program known as Redevelopment, a very successful program, about 500 redevelopment agencies, but there were some issues with it, and during the budget crisis, Governor Brown killed it. There is no more redevelopment, so the city doesn't have that tool to use tax increment money or land assembly. So what do you do to convince folks to come to Moorpark as opposed to Ojai or Simi Valley or Chatsworth or whatever it may be?
Well, and then there are only a couple of programs that the redevelopment agency got done in that period of time, that 15 or 20 years. That
Oh,
they were
you
there.
had a short period.
Well, so they got the High Street Theater taken care of, which is now
It's nice.
fully sold out every time they have an event. So that's a catalyst. But most of the focus for the redevelopment agency was primarily on our historic neighborhood called High Street. So now the redevelopment land that was owned by the redevelopment agency was now under control of the oversight agency. And just recently, the City of Moorpark came up with an agreement with the oversight agency to buy a good portion of that land back.
It's going back to the city.
Going back to the city. So some of it's going to be public use, and the rest of it's going to be so they can control what goes on High Street. Ironically enough, while they're doing this, there's a company called Apricot Lane Farms.
Okay.
Now, Apricot Lane Farms is one of the few biodynamic farms in the country, let alone the state of California. It happens to be right outside the city of Moorpark.
Okay.
And they decided that they love High Street and its historic features,
Right.
et cetera. Started looking to open up a farm to table market.
Nice.
As well restaurant, along with one of the local breweries, Evergreen Brewery, to do a biodynamic beer format on High Street. The city council is going to be looking.
That could be a destination spot if you think about it.
So that's your anchor. If
Right.
you have that, then the rest of the property you can certainly market to something that's compatible with that uniqueness.
Well, it's catalytic. I mean, you said it. I mean, you get
Absolutely.
one event, one anchor, like you said, and all of a sudden people start moving around it.
And I happen to be representing them as a real estate broker.
Aha.
So all these things move in because I was passionate about it. I'm blessed to be working with them.
Sure.
And it's a wonderful match. And obviously I won't be able to vote on it.
No, I hear you.
But it certainly is a great option for the future.
So what do you think? You're about to be sworn in. I mean, be careful what you wish for, or you think this is a good thing for you in the city?
You know, it doesn't really matter. I've been so committed. I'm how do they put it? You take a bat, you get up to the plate, and you swing. That's what I mean. Sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't. But I'm that guy that wants to try. I mean, I don't like excuses. I think if you come up with a plan, you implement a plan, there's a good chance of doing that. My job is I bring something to the table that's not currently on city council. I bring a heavy real estate background.
We thank you for joining us. His name is Ken Simons. He is a new member of the Moorpark City Council. My name is Brad Pomerance. It's Charter Local Edition.